It can take a long time to get delivered. There are many issues when you communicate through post, right? So one rule that was established by Adams versus Lindsell, right? So especially this is when there are like time limits, right? So if I say that by now, let's say today's 30th, and by the 2nd of July, I need your acceptance to be confirmed. After that, the contract is not valid. That's what the offerer says. However, let's say that you posted the letter on the 1st of July, before the 2nd. But I got the letter on the 4th of July, right? So now the issue is, do I consider that valid or not valid? Because I got the letter on the 4th of July. However, you accepted on the 1st of July. So the rule here is that at the time of posting is when acceptance happened, right? So since you posted it on the 1st of July, acceptance happened then. So it was before the deadline that I gave. So the contract is still valid. So sometimes you might get this type of like question, which is like a small case or an scenario where they will say like there are 3 parties and one person had accepted beforehand, then there was a counter offer, and the other person had posted the letter before, but they got it after the deadline. And you will have to, you know, talk about which ones are valid and which one is not, right? So this rule you need to keep in mind when you get scenarios like that. So there are problems with the rule. So if, I mean, the offerer does not know if it has, yeah? Okay. So the offerer does not know if it has been accepted, if the letter has been lost, if it is not, if it has been declined, right? So the offerer can't revoke the offer even if the acceptance comes late, especially if it is in a very time-sensitive, scenario, right? However, there is a way to avoid the postal rule. If you say that I have to receive this letter of acceptance by the 15th, then acceptance has to be when they receive the letter by the 15th. So if it passes the 15th, then it is no longer valid or enforceable by law, right? So there is a way to avoid the postal rule if you specify conditions like that. So, you know, the postal rule in emails, right? So here it's again, when the email enters the system of the offerer, then acceptance has been communicated, right? So that is kind of like the postal rule, but for emails instead, right? So limitations of the postal rule. So the rule will apply even if the letter gets lost, the rule still applies. And even it will also only apply if the letter has been properly posted. So for example, if you have written down the wrong address but still posted it, then it's not valid. You have to have properly posted it, and then it doesn't matter if it goes past the deadline or not, then it will still be valid. And the rule will only apply if acceptance by post was asked for or reasonably contemplated. So imagine if the person, your offerer, is someone who lives right next to you. Then the most reasonable method is not post. It is something like face-to-face communication or a phone call, right? So then it is not valid. This postal rule is not valid. If post was the most reasonable method, then only is the postal rule valid. And also, the rule never applies to anything other than acceptance. So any other legal forms of communication is not subject to the postal rule. It is only for acceptance.